Hello, Tony here, back on my channel once more on the Wednesday slot. And as it is customary with most of my Wednesday videos, today we're going to be opening a box of the latest Yu-Gi-Oh product. And this opening promises to be an interesting one, because today, we're going to be diving into Yu-Gi-Oh's latest core set, Battle of Chaos. So to set the stage, Battle of Chaos is the next core set to come out after Burst of Destiny. And much like Burst of Destiny, Battle of Chaos continues several trends we've seen in the last few years of set releases. The foremost of these is the predominant focus on the deck or decks of a main character within the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. Just like how Burst of Destiny focused on Revolver's rockets, Battle of Chaos focuses on the eternal conflict between Yugi's Dark Magician and Kaiba's Blue Eyes, with support present in the set for both sides of the war. On top of that, Battle of Chaos also pushes several ritual-focused themes, with 3 different ritual strategies included among its cards, one of them being a TCG exclusive. But most importantly, Battle of Chaos continues to leverage legacy support for a variety of different decks, with Ghost Strix, Vampires, Dark Manica, Mutant, and Nordics being among the several to receive new cards to supplement their existing strategies. What's more, Battle of Chaos also has several really new cool cards as well. Included in the set is a new generic fusion that promises to bring Despia back into meta contention, a spell that acts as a limited prohibition against your opponent, and a Nepethys monster that backs up destruction strategies with a powerful on-summon effect. And that's not even mentioning the new archetype to come out of the set in the Dynamorphia, an archetype of dinosaur gals that trades halves of your life for powerful effects. And all of these are things we hope to pull today. So, not to dally any longer, I believe I have droned long enough. Without a further ado, let's get into the box opening. Popping open this box here, as always, I will be pausing intermittently as I hit key cards to talk more about them in depth. I believe this gives viewers a more informed mindset of what's in the set and if the set is worth buying. But anyway, getting into the first pack here. Our first pack will have 1 Rock Scales, 1 Ghost Strix Shot, Ghost Strix support, 1 Dimension Conjurer for Dark Magician support, 1 End of the Line, a trap card that lets you draw 4 if your life points is 10 or less, 1 Ice Shade C-Note Enneon Cradle, the core card for the Ice Shade support, something worth building actually. 1 Octoadic Serpent Strike, a card for the Octoadics, 1 Ghost Trick Festival, the only Link monster that lets you use a face style monster, as well as a Doll monster Miss Madchen and a Maple Maiden. So immediately you can already see there is a bunch of legacy support for a variety of different decks in this set, and that leads to a lot of cool decks that you can build from it, but at the same time, not exactly a lot of crazy meta stuff at the moment. Our next pack will have Kaiza, the Hidden Star. I believe this is support for the Star archetype of warriors. 1 Norwu, Ares the Vernal Dragon. This is actually a really cool card for, I think, Eldritch. 1 Clear New World, a card that lets you trade monsters for higher level monsters. Really cool for certain archetypes. 1 Dynamorphia Brute, a trap for the Dynamorphias. A Vision with Eyes of Blue, there's that Blue Eye support. 1 Simorgh Berg of Perfection. 1 Ghost Trick Festival, 1 Mutant, the new card for mutants, and a Smile Potion. Alright, moving on to our next pack here. Our next pack will have a Ghost Trick Treat, a Epsilon the Magnet Warrior support. This card is actually very powerful. 1 Dartron the Mechanical Monstrosity, 1 Leaf Place, this is I believe a pun or play. And our first ultra rare is the new Flowondery spell in Flowonderies and the Advent of Adventure. So this card is a quick play that lets you target one of your Flowonderies and banish it, and then lets you search a card. This is actually beneficial for the deck in a few ways. Not only does this allow you to dodge effects that would negate your Flowonderies, but it also sets you up for some of your Flowonderies plays in their field spells. So definitely a card that I think Flowonderies players want to pick up. 1 Monster Rebirth, 1 Ice Shade Erosion, 1 Dynamorphia Shell. The Dynamorphias actually have like 5 traps, so you're going to see a lot of them. As well as Dynamorphia Diplos, one of the 2 main deck monsters, I believe. From there, on this side, we have a Ghost Trick Shot, a Dimension Conjurer, a End of the Line, a Brand Disciple. This is a Despia support card, shockingly enough. Unfortunately, when they brought this over to the TCG, they actually butchered the translation, so it's actually useless for Despia now. which is really unfortunate because I did want to deal with the deck profile on it until they messed up this translation. And there's our other ultra rare in the Dynamorphia Ventriculos. I'm probably butchering the name, but this is the main boss monster for the Dynamorphia deck, and it's 4,000 attack, and also loses attack based off your life points. But don't worry, you'll be losing life points very fast with this deck, and seeing as I pull this card, I believe this is a good time for me to pause to talk about the Dynamorphia. So when one thinks of dinosaurs in Yu-Gi-Oh!, one commonly imagines the dinosaurs of recent. Big, powerful beaters that pack crazy attack and aggressive pressure. Dynamorphia is not that. Based on the common marketable concept of making anything a waifu, Dynamorphia are a series of girls who transform into dinosaur hybrids to wage war on the opponent. Unlike your usual dinosaur deck, Dynamorphias do not pack insane attack, instead relying on their trap lineup to get through games. And oh, are there a lot of traps. Just in the initial wave, Dynamorphia have 6 traps at their disposal, all with varying levels of power. Starting with their 3 counter traps, Dynamorphia Sonic negates spell and trap activations. Dynamorphia Shell summons a token that grants targeting protection, and Dynamorphia Reversion copies the former 2 counter traps. Moving on to the normal traps, Dynamorphia Brute allows you to pop a Dynamorphia monster you control and a card your opponent controls. Dynamorphia Alert revives 2 Dynamorphias, while Dynamorphia Domain allows you to fusion summon Dynamorphia fusions using cards from the hand, field, or deck. Speaking of the fusions, we have Dynamorphia Stealth Bergia and Dynamorphia Ketragina. Both support the Dynamorphia in different ways, but Ketragina, being the main focus here, comes in at a whopping 4,000 attack, but loses attack equal to your life points. This means that to get her into any reasonable attack range, you're going to have to be lower than 1,000 life points. Fortunately, the traps help you get there, as each of those aforementioned traps we just discussed have an activation cost of half your current life points each. Which means just after about 3 trap activations, you're going to be already low enough to have a 3k beater ready to go. As if to further support this, your main deck Dynamorphias gain effects if your life is less than 2,000, and all your traps gain effects in the graveyard to protect you from damage once you're under that same threshold. Furthermore, Stealth Bergia turns all your Dynamorphia traps into free activations when your life gets too low. These little synergies creates a deck that plays very loose and very fast with its control strategy, as you quickly go into the lethal range immediately to convert to massive damage. So if you're a fan of living life on the edge and dino powered waifus, a weird combination indeed, this might be the deck for you. Getting back into this opening here, our next card is a Monster Rebirth, a Shining Peacephilia, which is, I think, just a happy lover, a Top Share, and another Ogdoadic Serpent Strike. Alright. Next up from there, we have another Branded Disciple, another Noru Ares the Vernal Dragon, one Onbiraru Soul Sweeper, one Tribe Drive, a Dynamorphia Straterbij, I can't pronounce this name, I'm sorry, but it's the other Rit fusion for the deck, one Smoke Mosquito, one DDD Headhunt, one Flower Dino, and the Agent of Destruction Venus. Agent support coming up for when that ghost from the past 2 comes out as well. Look forward to that deck profile. One Doll Monster Bear, one Dimension Conjurer, one Fire Opal Head, a Ghost Trick Siren, and Dark the Dark Charmer Gloomy. Alright, so I do want to talk about this card a little bit. So as you may have noticed in the last few sets, they have been releasing a Link monster for each of the Charmers. And each of them lets you bring back a different attributed monster from your opponent's graveyard, depending on the attribute of the Charmer. Well, Dark is a Dark Charmer, and as a result, it can bring back Dark monsters from your opponent's graveyard, which is extremely relevant in this current meta given the prevalence of Dark monsters like DPE that end up in the graveyard. So this is a card that I think everyone should have at least a single copy of. The Great Double Casted Caster, a card for non-effect monster decks, one Samard Tauride, one Shiny Peacephilia, and another DDD Headhunt. Alright, next up we have a Dynamorphia Sonic, a Silverine Senri, a Doll Monster Bear, a Sword Soul Strife, an XYZ Combine, XYZ Combine. This is, I believe, for the XYZ cards, not XYZ. One Ice Shade Erosion, one Groza, the Tyrant of Thunder. This card's actually a really cool generic synchro. One Small Potion, and one other Mutant. Okay, so we're about a quarter of the way through, and we already got 2 ultra rares. Hopefully we can hit a secret rare soon. 1 No Ares the Vernal Dragon, 1 Ombiaro Soul Sweeper, 1 Tribe Drive, 1 Epsilon the Magnet Dragon, a DDD Griffin. Yep, there is support for DDDs in this. Alpha Yu-Gi-Oh, one of my co-patriots here, he might be enjoying this. 1 Ice Shade Erosion, 1 Mad Hacker, 1 S-Force Lapaswell, more support for S-Force, and a Dogmatica Macabre, the new ritual spell for Dogmatica. So the Dogmatica deck profile that I did shockingly incredibly well, and people have been clamoring for me to do an update. So to all the guys waiting for that, yes, it is coming. Alright, moving on to our next pack here. Our next pack has a Epsilon the Magnet Warrior, a Dynamorphia Brute, a Silverine Senri, a Fire Opal Head, and our first secret rare is Illusion of Chaos. So this is technically Dark Magician support. It's also a ritual support, but it's mostly Dark Magician support. And seeing as I pulled this, I believe I'm going to pause now to talk about some of the support that exists for Dark Magician, but also Blue Eyes as well. The theme of chaos has always been intrinsically linked to Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Dating as far back as Invasion of Chaos with the first ever Chaos monsters, the idea of chaos has always been marketed as a balance between light and dark. Incidentally, this balance mirrors the eternal conflict between Yugi's Dark Magician and Kaiba's Blue Eyes throughout the years, as both duelists were in possession of one of the 2 original Chaos monsters. So it comes as no surprise that Battle of Chaos would include support for both Kaiba and Yugi in the form of several anime-themed cards, that take up each 1 secret rare and 1 ultra rare slot. On the side of Yugi, we have the powerful Master of Chaos, a fusion between Yugi's most powerful monsters in Dark Magician and Blackluster Soldier. Able to revive a light or dark on summon and then be able to banish a light and dark to mass remove a field, Master of Chaos definitely aims to provide the Dark Magician deck a suitable boss monster for their Yugi purist players. But more relevant to meta players is the new Illusion of Chaos, a ritual monster that doubles as a searcher for Dark Magician themed cards walled in hand, which finally provides players more consistent access to Magician's Soul. Both of these cards hope to elevate Dark Magician strategies to new heights, while also favoring many other archetypes on the side as well. Countering these 2 new cards for Yugi are 2 new cards for Kaiba as well. The first is his new fusion monster in Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, a Blue Eyes monster that requires a Blue Eyes and a dragon to make. Drawn directly from its anime depiction, Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon can attack everything on the field while also setting traps afterwards. And unlike most Blue Eyes fusions, Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon can also be alternatively made by attributing a Blue Eyes monster equipped with a fusion monster, providing the deck interesting options into a powerful aggro unit. But more favored is the new secret rare monster in Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, another Kaiba-esque card that grants card destruction immunity to your board and follows up your removal effects with its huge body and built-in bounce effect. Both of these cards are in line with what Blue Eyes want to do: go in, go big, and go hard. So I have no doubt that both of these cards will see some inclusion in the deck. Returning to our box opening, our next card is a Imprudent Intrusion, another double Caster, a Dynamorphia Diplos, and a Submarred Torride. Alright, since we have pulled that secret rare in that pack, that means that this pack here will contain the secret rare on the other side, which means we're going to put this away for now, and we're just going to keep going from there. We're going to save that for last, because otherwise I give you no reason to watch the rest of this profile probably. 1 Tribe Drive, 1 Ombiaro Soul Sweeper, 1 Brand Disciple, 1 Kai's the Hidden Star, and a Epitron the Impersonation Invader. It's a rock monster. Interesting. 1 S-Force Lapaswell, 1 Maple Maiden, 1 Simorgh Bird of Perfection, and 1 Ogdoadic Serpent Strike. Moving on from there, our next pack has a Dynamorphia Brute, a Silverine Senri, a Fire Opal Head, a Ghost Strix Siren, a Nordic Relic Schvalin. This is for the Nordic support, pretty cool. 1 Growers of the Tyrant of Thunder, 1 Dynamorphia Alert. I think we've actually hit, well, if we haven't, we now hit all 5 of the Dynamorphia traps, and another Simorgh Bird of Perfection. Next up, another Ghost Strix Siren, a Neroy the Dream Mirror Trader. There is Dream Mirror support, which is really welcome given how crummy that deck still is. 1 Leave Place, 1 Ghost Strix Shot, a Vampire Fascinator, fascinating, 1 Dynamorphia Shell, 1 Monster Rebirth, 1 Shiny Piece Filia, and another Top Share. Alright, next up, we have a Dynamorphia Sonic, 1 Silverine Senri, 1 Monster Bear, 1 Sword Soul Strife, a Dark Dimension Soldier. This card is featured in a lot of DD artwork, but this is not a DDD card. 1 Ogdoadic Serpent Strike, 1 Smoke Mosquito, 1 Mad Hacker, and a Monster Madchen. Alright, what's up next? Our next pack has another end of the line. A Skilled Brown Magician, translated from Skilled Chestnut Magician. This card supports Karibo, which benefits some of the cards in the Brothers of Legend set. Another Rock Scales, a Doll Happiness, and our next ultra rare is the Libromancer first appearance. So this is support for the Libromancers, a TCG exclusive archetype focused on rituals. And seeing as we pull this card, I think I'm going to pause for the third time to talk about the Libromancer. After the painful end that was Beat Troopers, Konami has bounced back with the next TCG exclusive archetype in the Libromancer. Based on the very popular and very meme genre of stands, the Libromancer is a ritual-focused archetype that has you constantly flip-flop between your rituals and your main deck monsters. Each of the 3 Libromancer main deck monsters currently available to us has an effect to special summon themselves from the hand by revealing a ritual monster. And each one of them also has an advantage-based effect designed to set you up for future ritual plays. Inversely though, all your rituals have effects that work in response to your opponent's actions, with the main power play being your Libromancer Doombroker, a level 6 ritual monster that boasts 2500 attack, has the ability to set its traps directly from the deck, attack directly, and then remove monsters when it does so. To support them further is the inclusion of their field spell, Libromancer First Appearance, which searches a Libromancer monster on activation and performs ritual summons while face up on the field. Likewise, support is their singular counter trap, Libromancer Intervention, which bounces back your rituals to negate card effects and then revive your non-ritual Libromancers from the grave. These cards in combination allow the deck to play a very efficient hit and run strategy designed to maximize the amount of mileage one ritual monster can get you. Honestly, the initial wave of support of these cards look very solid, and the amount of outside support available for this deck is very high. So while the cards may not be very competitive right now, I imagine these cards will have an impact in the future, and that alone makes them worth picking up at the moment. Getting back into the opening for what I hope will be the last time, we have a Ghost Trick Festival, a Mad Monster Madchen, a Maple Maiden, and a Smoke Mosquito. Alright, seeing as how this scroll, this will have another ultra rare, and that ultra rare will be a Nero Dream Maiden, Leaf Plays Palace, a Ghost Trick Shot, a Urador Fate, and our next ultra rare is an Ice Jade Alorthin? I can't pronounce any of these names today, I'm sorry. But this is support for the Ice Jades. This one specifically searches for spells and traps. This is really welcome given the fact that Ice Jade Cradle is a fantastic card, and I might actually build the Ice Jades because of this. Anyway, we have a Ghost Trick Festival, a Mutant, a Smile Potion, and a Double Casted Caster. Okay, with that, we have now pulled 4 ultra rares and 1 secret rare. That means that there is only 1 secret rare left in the set outside of Starlight, so we're just going to turbo through the rest of the pack so we can get to that secret rare. We have an Urador Fate, a Dartron the Mechanical Monstrosity, a Ghost Trick Siren, a Ghost Trick Trick or Treat, a Dynamorphia Reversion, 1 Serpent Strike, 1 Ice Sheet Erosion, 1 Mad Hacker, and another S-Force Lapaswell. Moving on to the next pack here, because I'm pretty sure all of this you've seen enough of already. We have a Tribe Drive, an Ambiance Soul Sweeper, a Branded Disciple, a Kaiser the Hidden Star, a Nordic Relic, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, an Impotent Intrusion, a Top Share, a Agent of Support Venus, and a Monster Rebirth. Alright, next pack. Let's see if we can go even faster. We have a Dartron the Mechanical Monstrosity, a Ghost Trick Siren, a Ghost Trick or Treat, a Skillbound Magician, a Dictator of D, fantastic naming right there, 1 Submerged Tour Ride, 1 Shining Piece Filia, 1 DDD Headhunt, and another Dogma Macabre. Alright, 5 packs left. We have a Silverine Senri, a Sword Soul Strife, a Dynamorphia Sonic, a Urador Fate, a Dogmatica White Relic of Dogmatica. This is the new ritual for the Dogmatica archetype. It has some cool effects supporting the deck, but the most important part, it's a level 4, which you'll see in the deck profile. 1 DDD Headhunt, 1 Flower Bedino, 1 Agent of Destruction Venus, and an Impotent Intrusion. Alright, 3 packs left, I believe. 1 Skillbound Magician, 1 Doll of Happiness, 1 Nero the Dream Mirror Trader, 1 Epsilon the Magnet Warrior, 1 Magic Karibo, another Karibo card, 1 Dogmata Macabre, 1 Grows of the Tyrant of Thunder, 1 Dynamorphia Alert, and 1 Dynamorphia Shell. Alright, next one. 1 End of Line, 1 Skillbound Magician, 1 Rock Scales, 1 Doll of Happiness, 1 Ice Shade C-Note Enyon Cradle, long ass name for that one, 1 Ice Shade Erosion, 1 Dynamorphia Shell, 1 Sunmar Torride, and 1 Dynamorphia Diplos. Alright, 2 packs left. 2 packs before the secret rare, 1 Clear New World, 1 Skillbound Magician, 1 Doll Bear, 1 Rock Scales, 1 S-Force Retroactive. This is support for the S-Force that I really like. It lets you link from your hand. That's the most important part. 1 Double Casted Caster, 1 Dynamorphia Diplos, 1 Sunmar Torride, 1 Dynamorphia Shell, and then for our last basic pack here, we have 1 Doll of Happiness, 1 Nero the Dream Trader, 1 Epsilon the Magnet Warrior, 1 Kaiser the Hidden Star, 1 Dynamorphia Reversion, 1 Dynamorphia Diplos, 1 Dynamorphia Alert, 1 Florodino, and 1 Ogdoadic Serpent Strike. And lastly, the pack with the other secret rare. What can we get? Alright, hopefully, I'm curious to see if I could feel it out, so maybe I could put it in the back. No, I can't. I'm just bad at this. We have 1 Ghost Trick or Treat, 1 Epsilon the Magnet Warrior, 1 Dartron the Mechanical Monstrosity, a Leaf Place, and our other secret is Blue Eyes Jet. Now that is cool. Unfortunately, not what I'm looking for, but still a very cool card indeed. We have a Dogmatic Macabre, a Dynamorphia Diplos, a Dynamorphia Alerts, and a Florodino to finish up our box opening. And that's going to do it for our Battle of Chaos box opening. So, what are my final opinions on this set? Well, despite how much I've hyped this up, I would recommend players not go box digging for the set. Why may I ask? Unfortunately, while the set has a lot to offer and a lot of different components and a lot of legacy support for a lot of different archetypes, not a lot of it is currently very impactful. While the Libromancer look very interesting, a lot of their cards currently won't do much until further support. So while you can pick it up as an investment, I'd rather pick up the singles than getting them through the boxes. Likewise, cards like Illusion of Chaos and Blue Eyes Jet Dragon are very awesome cards in terms of lore, but they also don't quite do exactly what I think a lot of people are hoping for those archetypes. Even the Dynamorphia aren't expected to do a lot for the meta either. So if you really want to build those decks and to get the cards out of this set, I just suggest buying them as singles. But that's just me. Regardless, this has been Tony with a Battle of Chaos box opening. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys next time.